Viewers and subscribers, welcome to another episode. People, in today's video, we want to discuss whether or not the DA does care or does not care about the city's residents. Is it a case of too many immigrants or migrants, internal and external, to the city that's overwhelming both the budget and the infrastructure? Or is it a case of just neglecting the residents altogether? Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, the DA. Mixed feelings, mixed emotions, various stories, depending where you live, depending who you are, depending where you're from. I guess everyone has their own stories that they can talk about the DA, that they can say about the DA, right? One, like I always say, I like to give credit where credit is due, right? And giving the DA credit for running the city of Cape Town better than how the ANC is running any of its provinces. Kudos to that. Kudos to the DA for consistently being voted the cleanest, neatest, audited metro in the country. Kudos to the DA for that, right? If you live in Sea Point, Camps Bay, Bantry Bay, if you live in Bishop's Court, Claremont, Rondebosch, you live in, where else? You live in, uh, there's so many areas to mention. If you live in, where else there is? Rondebosch, there's Newlands, dude, there's a whole lot. You live in Constantia, you live in whatever, Hog Bay, Rich Village, if you live in a low density suburb, if you live in the rich areas, if you live in the picturesque areas of Cape Town, you will know that the DA works for you. And the people there will tell you that the DA really does work for them. Cool. But now, if you go now across town and you go to the fringes of Cape Town, to your Valhalla Parks, your Bontevils, your Atlantis, your Nooit Gedacht, your Netrecht, your Menenberg, your Parkwoods, your Bishop Lavis, your uh, where else? Gugulethu, Langa, Khayelitsha, Danun, Joe Slovo, Samora. It's a different story, right? The people over there will tell you that they feel neglected, they feel unwanted, they feel left behind, they feel like they are the forgotten people of picturesque Cape Town. Because where they come from, nothing says postcard, picturesque Cape Town. And why is that? So, truth of the matter is, the budget is there, the money is there to basically improve these cities. It's like those suburbs, those areas. The money is there. They will tell you there is no money, but the money is there. The money is being spent elsewhere where the DA thinks it's better spent for ROI, return on investment. So, if the DA got no money, where is the money coming from to expand the My City in the southern suburbs? How much is that costing? So if before they could have expanded the My City road in the southern suburbs, couldn't they have at least tried to upgrade the smaller high density suburbs? I'm now talking about something like a Danoon, something like a Joe Slovo in Milnerton, you know? They could do if they really wanted to, because the money is clearly there. But they won't do that because of ROI, return on investment. It's not within the city's best interest to put money where they're not getting a return on investment. See what I mean? It's about cash flow. Okay. Another thing is this, right? They will say, and they keep saying this, right? That the DA is racist. That one is a hard one to crack because a lot of colored people tell you that the DA doesn't care for the colored people at all. And for the black people, well, that's just outright obvious. I mean, they have the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? It's like, so the DA is being hit by a lot of things right now, right? So what is possibly hindering the DA's plans to develop Cape Town, if ever they have that desire to develop Cape Town, which clearly there isn't, right? Because the township situations are getting worse and worse by the day, right? I mean, shacks are springing up everywhere. There's just no population control. They're just letting the city run rampant, right? The influx of people from the Eastern Cape first. Let's start by the Eastern Cape because I feel like that is where the biggest number of um, uh, migration is coming from, right? It's not a bad thing to move around within your own country. I mean, it's not a crime, it's not a sin, you get opportunities, you move, you do. I get it, you know, totally not wrong. It's not even wrong for legal immigrants to move into a country legally. I mean, it's not wrong, you do it, you move, opportunities, you do. At some point, the DA has got to come up with legislation at a provincial level that they surely can escalate to national level to say, guys, this influx of people from all directions is unsustainable for the city's budget and infrastructure. If the DA can fight for VAT increase reductions and objections to this and objections to that, surely, surely they could fight the influx. I mean, that is possible. They're going to say no, but that's a national government priority, not a provincial government. People, I do understand that there are certain things that are out of provincial control and that are in the hands of national. I totally get that. But surely the DA and all its mayoral committee people and municipal people and whatever people, surely they can see that this is now getting out of hand. People, they are, Kailicha is full. Joe Slovo is full. People are now people are now going into other areas to occupy vacant, open pieces of land in other. Kailicha is so full that now the people that were destined for Kailicha are now moving to trying to invade Mitchell's Plain. And the Mitchell's Plain residents are not having that. They're like, oh no, this is not going to happen. Same thing happened in Joe Slovo in Mollerton. I mean, Joe Slovo is full. And as soon as there was a vacant piece of land on Phoenix side, remember Slovo and Phoenix are divided just by a road. just a road that divides them, right? So on the Phoenix side, there was a vacant piece of property that the people were using as a flea market, like an open market, and then the municipal police chase those people away. And next thing you know, people were coming there and demarcating where they're going to put up the shacks. Slow for people moving into Phoenix and demarcating where they're going to put up shacks for themselves. The residents said no to that. There was a whole police van there to park there, and so my fight is this, or my question is this: rather, the Eastern Cape is probably seeing the biggest influx of people into the Western Cape, specifically Cape Town, right? Why is this being allowed? That's what I'm trying to think. I mean, come on, there has to be some sort of, there must be some sort of legislation. There must be some sort of, to say, no, guys, it's allowed too much. You can't be coming into our city now. Really, you can't. It's just too much. I mean, it's getting out of hand, guys. I mean, no, that is what I'm saying. It's almost as if, like, for as long as they're not coming to Sea Point, Constantia, Camps Bay, Bantry Bay, French Hook, then it's fine. As long as they're going to those high density areas, they can come in droves, in waves. It doesn't matter. As long as they're not coming to the western seaboard, then that's all good. That's the impression I'm getting, right? If you live, like I'm saying, if you live in the townships already, you already have that feeling that this government doesn't care for us, so anything goes. So the people also live by that mantra that, well, we're here, we deserted, we're the forgotten people, they don't care about us. All they just do is just come, sweep the sides of the road, pick up trash, if they eat some trash, and they leave. That's all they do. Maybe come and fix a burst pipe. If and when they're ready to come and fix the burst pipe, there's so many potholes, there's half roads. Sometimes it's not even roads, it's just like whatever. They don't care about us. So why should we bother? Why should we care? So anything goes, right? It's said that the DA, as the official best party in South Africa, is allowing this thing to happen. Ah, my real gripe is that there's no control to, I mean, is there accountability? Is there town planning? Is there some sort of census to now say, guys, Cape Town is full, that we can no longer accommodate any people anymore? Like, really, in the township, there's no space anymore. It's like we can't anymore. Is there some sort of recourse on that, or is there some sort of mechanics or metrics that we can use to judge and see that the townships are way, way overpopulated? Guys, it's putting a strain on infrastructure now. Now you have clinics that serve 2, 3 areas, and all of a sudden these clinics are now serving people from everywhere now. Imagine we have to have a clinic that used to close around about 2 o'clock because they only serve people within its zones, right? Within its zone. And all of a sudden you have people coming as fire fielders from Kailicha now, coming to clinics that are almost near towards town, they say. Why? Because it's full, 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 full. I mean, it's getting out of hand, guys. This is like too much. If you're from the Eastern Cape, I know the Eastern Cape is hard. I know the Eastern Cape is worse than the Western Cape, right? Because the ANC have really destroyed it, right? My question is, why would you vote Eastern Cape? Why would you vote ANC and then move to Western Cape? Now you vote for a disastrous government who's really destroying your infrastructure. They're not even caring to even maintain whatever's left of it. Then you want to come here and burden and break the Western Cape's infrastructure, and yet you come from the Eastern Cape. It just doesn't make sense. Are you telling me that there's nothing in the Eastern Cape, totally nothing, that you have to move to the Western Cape? Like, you've tried everything in the Eastern Cape and it's not working. So you telling me that in the Eastern Cape you couldn't cut grass, you couldn't wash cars, you couldn't clean windows, you couldn't try online stuff, you couldn't hustle for data, you couldn't you couldn't you couldn't start a spaza shop, you couldn't sell something like tomatoes and fruit on the road, you couldn't go door to door looking for work in yards, you couldn't do basic hand-to-hand stuff, you couldn't volunteer at some place just for food and shelter, you couldn't do a myriad of things you couldn't do. So you had to move to the Western Cape, where now you're doing what? You moved all the way from the Eastern Cape to come to the Western Cape to work at ShopRite. So you telling me there's no ShopRite there in the Eastern Cape? Okay, there is ShopRite in the Eastern Cape, but it's all full. No vacancies in the Eastern Cape. Okay, cool. I get it. But what are you doing in the Western Cape? Because even here there's no jobs. So what are you doing in the Western Cape that you cannot be doing in the Eastern Cape? That's my thing, right? The foreigners coming from other countries. Your countries are so bad that obviously you have to uproot, you have to leave. I totally get it. But when you come to Cape Town, what are you doing in Cape Town that you possibly couldn't be doing in your own countries? Because now when we look on the corners, we think it's mainly foreigners who are just standing on corners looking, waiting for work. So you tell me you traveled all the way from your country to come stand at a robot in another country when you could have been standing at a robot in your country. This doesn't make sense. So unless maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? So the problem I'm bringing up in this video is two-pronged, right? Number one, I'm saying the DA doesn't care for the people who live on the fringes of the city. Number two, the DA can hit back and say, but how can we provide A, B, C, D, E when you can see the people just keep coming and coming and coming and coming? So it's a two-pronged problem. Now, can we really blame the DA for saying they don't care if when the DA has planned, okay, we're going to build this thing, it's fit enough for 800,000 people. And then when you look again, there's 1.5 million people. Overburden, overwhelming the infrastructure, the system. So what do we do? How do we solve it? So is it a case that the DA really doesn't care about the people? Or is it a case that there's too many people for the DA to actually try and do something? Because whatever they're going to try and do now, it's going to overwhelm the system. I mean, they said like in I think it was in 2014, was it 2008, 2009? There was like 800,000 sheikhs in Cape Town. Fast forward to 2020, is it 2019, 2020, 2021? There's like 1.5 million. That's a lot, people. That is a lot of sheikhs. And counting. And more people coming to the Western Cape. So I don't know. Do you think the DA really doesn't care for the people? Or do you think that there's too many people, too many migrants, internal migration and external migration to the city, making it harder and more difficult for the DA to cope? Let me know what you think about this topic, guys. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler.